We are live. Hello, hello. It's Shanique here helping you, entrepreneurs, cleaning professionals, be well respected, well paid in your industry. I want to talk about price objections. Today I worked closely with my client's VA. For those of you who don't know what VA is, it's a virtual assistant. And I work with solo cleaners, small cleaning business owners that are doing about 50, any more than 50% doing any cleaning at all, and they want to escape that. They're rebranding and relaunching. Typically you've been in the business for a year and a half, and you've seen the same consistent cash flow. You're capped out around 20 to not even 50 clients, and you want to grow. Not only do you want to grow, but you want to grow without having to do the cleaning. So my client who works with me over the 90 days to relaunch and really set up their business, works full time, and actually recruited their sister to be their virtual assistant. So a part of our contract is to do intensive sales training with her. And this is perfect for you that are in a place where you're ready to hire your first sales VA, or you yourself need better confidence when it comes to handling objections. Okay, you no longer want to be charging no 190 minimum. Okay, when you work with me, it automatically your minimum is at $290. Minimum $220 for a basic clean. Okay, this is for those of you in Canada and in the States. That's the minimum that I suggest my clients to start with, because you are hiring out subcontractors and they get anywhere from 40 to 50%. So with that being said, a lot of my clients need the confidence to go from charging like $90, $160 per clean, to being confident to say, your deep clean start at 300, 500, where you're selling 900 when you're not used to doing that. There is a level of skills and confidence. Okay. It all starts from building first your value, your perceived value. What is perceived value? Clients, leads that do not know about your business, doesn't know how fancy your cleaning checklist is. They don't know how beautiful your website is if they haven't seen your website and they went straight from Google. Like, while on the call, it's a perceived value. Okay, especially if you're taking the answers yourself, you want them to perceive your business as a highly operating business, and that all stems from the poise and the posture over the phone. Now, you come to a point where you cannot sell everyone. Okay, and what I mean by selling everyone is if someone goes on the phone and they're inquiring about your sales service, your cleaning service, and you tell them the price and they don't want to book on the call. They say, I have to talk to my spouse. They may say, oh, the price is too high, or could you do something better than me? What I do with my clients and their VAs is that we train them in how to handle the objections. Okay, there's one thing to get leads. If you are getting leads, that's one thing. But if you cannot convert those leads into clients, then a lot of people ask, how do you get clients? To me, you can find clients any freaking where. I tell my, like, you could go outside and hold a poster and say, I provide cleaning services all day. But you're bound to find somebody who's going to be willing to work with you. Now, are they be willing to work with you at the price that actually helps you sustain your business, which means have profit? Because there's a lot of people have booked out calendars and are underpaid and realize that they're really they have a glorified job. Their business is not really a business, it's just paying their bills. That's not why you started a business. At least that's not who I work with. My clients don't do, like, they didn't start a business to just get by. It may be started out to get extra few $100s and maybe pay off debt 100%, right? But when you're in the relaunch reset, you're at a place where you know that this works. You know the cleaning industry is lucrative. Like, you don't need anyone convincing you, having a full-blown 30-minute session on why the cleaning industry is profitable. Like, we all know that it is. So you're rebranding your business for other people to perceive you at the highest level of service. So you could sell your prices with confidence. Now, I worked with my client. with his VA. And we went through the script, and I was really proud of with her progress. She practiced the script very well, and she came to the hiccup when she did present the price, and it does make a difference on how you, what they say, price drop or tell your prices. So I can only tell you how she went about it, but when it got to the point where she's ready to tell the price, she asks the client, do you want to hear about the price? Well, I wouldn't ask the client if they want to hear about the price, because they would have been on that call because they're inquiring a cleaning service. So that question's irrelevant. So you could just go right to the point. And that point is painting the picture of what your cleaning service provides, high value. So with this client, if you're on the phone with someone who's expecting to only pay $150, and your price, you're about to drop $470, of course it's going to seem steep for them, because in their mind they still see their property as just a quick clean. You need, as the expert on the call, need to paint the picture that is not just to clean. Therefore, what I teach my clients, I'm actually going to tell you guys what I teach my clients, is before you say the price, you need to repeat everything the client said over the phone, and emphasize the transformation. So for example, and this exact script is in my playbook, the inquiry call, right? For example, you gone through the whole, how many bedroom, bathroom, what's the square footage, all the boring logistic stuff that everyone else does, okay? In my script, I tell you to ask a few more questions, like what's the special occasion? What makes you interested in professional cleaning during that conversation? So before you price drop now, the whole time, all you're doing is repeating to what they wanted over the phone call uh, prior to dropping this price drop. And this is how it should sound. Hey, Sarah. So, based on what we just went through, you need a full deep clean of your 2,000 square foot home. And that is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, right? Okay, perfect. And you did mention that you want inside the oven, which hasn't been cleaned over 6 months, right? That's right. Okay, cool. And then we'll make sure that everything is clean from top to bottom, including the windows, baseboards. And I know you mentioned the fans. Do you understand how I'm listing everything that the client would have mentioned throughout the call, instead of just saying, okay, well, thank you, the price is going to be $450. She's just going to hear, all she really went through the call was how many bedroom and bathrooms, and now she's getting a quote of $400 when she expected 150. Of course she's going to say that's too expensive, because she doesn't understand the value. Versus if you were to break down everything that she mentioned over the phone, all her concerns, plus how big the property is, how many teams how many people you're probably going to send over, she's going to hear all of that, and then hear it's $470. Like, I would understand that. Oh yeah, okay, so it does include that. Oh yeah, and my oven, and there's gonna be a team of 3 people. That makes sense. So instead of, then most likely than not, if they're not gonna pay your prices, they're gonna be like, so what's included? When you heard that, you messed up. You already messed up. Sorry, because they don't understand why they're paying that price. That's why they want to know what your checklist is like. They want to know if it's even worth the $200. That's if you go through the script in my bio, completely free, by the way. Like, it's, and I have a video to break it down. Like, it's completely free. You're just painting the picture, creating the value, so they're less likely to fight on the price, because they've already seen, or they already heard the value in your service. And that's how my clients are closing 50% of their leads coming in, right? Because what's the point of paying hundreds of dollars, if that, if you could even afford ads, right? And you're getting these leads in, you're paying for Google LSA per lead, sometimes is $15, and you don't know how to sell, and you don't know how to convert them. You guys need to understand how to have poise, and how to show up on your leads call, your sales calls, basically your inquiry calls, right? It's not just getting the bedroom, bathroom, and square footage. It's not a quick bid, because if that's the case, they're just going to be basing it all on price and just going to find somebody else. This is why my client who works with me closed it, one starting this in the first week, closed 203 leads. You think 3 leads is not a lot? If he got 3 leads and closed them all, then yes, it's good. But if you only got 3 leads and none of them closed, of course you're gonna be like, I only got 3 leads. If you can't even close 1 out of 3 leads, I don't think you need more leads. I think you need to know how to now convert them into a client. And then not only a one-time client, but a recurring client, because that's what a successful, profitable business is built on. And I literally break this down in my entire high ticket client playbook. The whole inquiry script, what I do on the first initial clean to help my clients. And this is when I had my cleaning business. Even though it was just me, people perceived me as a big established company, as if I had a sales team, I had 50 teams behind me to send out cleaning providers. It's how I positioned myself and showed up that people were willing to give their credit card on file. Like it's nothing, no questions at that. Giving credit card numbers to a total stranger. Like, so think about that. Of course, sometimes it's going to be a hustle, a resistance to get someone to pay hundreds of dollars to a stranger. And you're not meant to sell your services by prices because of that. I'm sure you started your cleaning business because you want to be respected. You want to provide great cleaning service. Some of you started because you like cleaning. Some of you understand the benefits of a cleaning services. And some of y'all just want to get rich. By all means, if you just want an extra source of income, sure. But people still need to trust you over the phone. Yes, you can get your quick wins on Facebook and just blitz on Facebook and get a few $160 clients there, and then they refer you, right? They refer you to other $160 clients, and then 5-6 months in, you realize that you don't have enough money to keep running your business. No, I was there. I had to come to a place where I said, I need to build a professional, profitable business, or I'm going to go back to 9 to 5, because why am I stressing myself out for little change? No, so you guys have to increase your prices, build a brand, build a business, relaunch, because that's what I do. I help people where I was, relaunch, so people take you serious. They perceive you as the company that you start your business for in the first place, and get them what you're worth. Okay. And I don't like necessarily saying charge with your worth, with your, I don't think a lot of people are showing their worth. And no offense, that's why people, you can't blame clients or people out there to see cleaning as just cleaning. Right? Like, when you bust your back, it's not just cleaning, but you cannot expect people to just magically I can completely see that. I understand if you want to have a civil rights on TikTok and prove to that, no problem. But I believe that I'm also talking to the business owners that didn't just start a business just to put cash, or if they did, it is now you understand that you're not going to go into Louis Vuitton and expect Walmart prices. So you want to build a business that screams that too. Therefore, when you go ahead and you price drop and you talk about your prices, your high value, high ticket cleaning prices, then you don't flinch. You don't feel like you're taking money out of people's pockets. You're more than happy to say your prices because of what it provides. You can stand on the value it provides, and you know how to communicate that. People need to hear that, to feel that, to trust that prior to even walking into their house, or seeing a fancy checklist, or even being in contact with an AI, because AI is not going to impress people per se. It can help with the process to go faster, but it's not like they're not going to see the perceived value. However, softwares is seems a lot more professional than you're like manually doing things and waiting for stuff to happen. When it is seamless and allows the client experience to be elevated, that's what helps a perceived value, right? That's what people would perceive as, okay, this is valuable. The experience is faster. It's quicker to book with you. So I understand why I'm paying more. Or this is why I'm going to choose this company over someone else that takes like 3 days to get back to me, which you shouldn't, okay? You should always be quick on that phone call. So I feel like I'm just chatting. I just want to come on and share that with you on handling objections, how I recently just coached my clients VA to handle objections, what to say when someone's trying to get a huge discount or help me out. I don't like the word discount. You should never say, I'll give you a discount over the phone because it discounts your business. But words like promotions, you would say that instead of discount, or I'll do you a favor. So y'all let me know if you want a sales training or more content on that. But that's how I go about auditing my clients' VA or their sales approach. We have weekly sales calls, like role plays to help you. All right. I'm ending off this live.